Welcome everybody to the final part of Kingdom Hearts 3's DLC, the Limit Cut episode. So this is my favourite part of Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm not gonna lie, it actually pushes this game's battle system to its limits.
Thanks.
And it's all I ever wanted from this game. It lets you boss rush, or have a bunch of one-on-one super boss fights against all the organization members at their maximum power. So, you want to be level 100 for this, and goddamn, I hate the fact that this is behind a paywall. It's it's so scummy in my mind. It's better than the model they had while I was growing up, which was, oh, you're a Westerner? Okay, you're never gonna get the definitive version of this game that has all these super bosses. They are exclusively for the Japanese players, because fuck you. But, yeah, making it DLC was... it annoys me still, I have to be honest.
Hey, you two.
But you know what, this is one of the few Kingdom Hearts videos that has a chance of not being overly negative, so how about I start singing praises? So,
Sure about this?
well, we're already off on a bad foot because a shitload of cutscene is happening. This set of boss fights, instead of just being, you know, what they are, they're essentially given a framing device. You're given a bunch of cutscenes which reintroduce the Final Fantasy characters, which is nice, I guess, but it does so in a fashion that is so minor that they might as well not have even been there. And it's with those characters that we're able to have a bunch of simulated fights, so cool, I guess. Alright. And as for this situation, yeah, you've got Terra, Ventus, and Aqua all going to the World of Darkness to try and find Sora, who, at this point in the story, has paid the ultimate price and is kind of trapped in limbo between universes. So, yeah.
Good luck.
Anyway, here's the Final Fantasy that we were all dying for. No Sephiroth fight. Still no Sephiroth fight. And Cloud's not anywhere to be seen, because he and Sephiroth kinda disappeared in Kingdom Hearts 2, but yeah. Guess it's nice to see some 7 characters before the remake comes out.
But if we still remember him, then he must still be with us.
Yes, that would stand to reason.
So I guess we'd better turn to a Data Sora. You know, everyone's favorite mechanic in the Kingdom Hearts series. Retreading over old content with a digital recreation.
Cid's been looking into the data for a year now. Aren't the people at the castle doing the same thing? No one's found anything yet?
Well, it's outside their field of expertise.
Come on, Cid. Can you throw us a bone here, please?
Be quiet! I'm trying! I'm this close to something, I know it!
For fuck's sake, just let me do my fucking job! I can't deal with this shit!
You are a million
Sorry, I
times
was just
worse
making it
than
more
a
accurate
broken
to
record.
his character, you know? He's not allowed to cuss in Kingdom
By
Hearts,
the way,
which is a shame.
how are the others?
Well, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are searching for clues in every past world that Sora's been to.
I don't need to know, nor do I really care what Sora's up to. Just let me fight the orcs, please. I just want to fight the orcs. I've suffered through Remind by this point to get here. I am done with cutscenes, let me fight, please. Give me a good, solid 8 hours of fighting, unbroken, which is what Limit Cut eventually gives me. Yep, Kairi's willingly gone comatose for a year just to try and bring Sora back, so not great. Because no one in this world can function without Sora there to make everything work.
So there's been no progress.
What in the...
Huh?
What in the world is this?
What is it?
This computer, the one in Twilight Town, and the one in the castle are all connected to the same network. They sent me all their
How?
data, and I
They're all in
matched it with the
different
stuff I already had,
worlds.
And looky here.
Wait, how the fuck does that work?
Sora.
Oh, I don't care. It's magic.
Sora's
Digital
inside
magic.
the computer?
No, that's just the data I constructed based on Sora and his fighting abilities.
So you gave us a heart attack for nothing?
No, that group Sora was fighting, battalion something? Well, I recreated their data too.
I love that Sid's attitude towards Kingdom Hearts' plot is the same as many viewers of like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, it crossed my mind, but I must be better at this than I thought, because their data, it's so powerful I can't access any of it.
Powerful
Can you use
data.
Sora's data to gain access?
Veritable petabytes
Good idea.
of data.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, let's try.
So there we go, the framing device. Didn't need any of that, frankly. If you just threw me into the simulated
Great.
room with all the boss doors, I would have just taken that, but everything's got to tie into Kingdom Hearts 3's massive overarching and refusing to close itself off narrative. It's nice to see
Are you
Aerith,
sure that Sora's
you
data
know,
can
considering
handle
she's
anything, no matter what.
not been Sephiroth in this universe.
I didn't think their data would be recreated too.
And yeah, that's the last we see of our Final Fantasy friends, unless you want to come back out and chat with them. So yeah. So before Limit Cut, well, I'll tell you what, this particular playthrough is coming hot off of the Remind episode. So I'm still about level 60 or so. And I'm just going to show you how hard this is to a level 60 but otherwise fully maxed out Sora. So, we have all these doors here. There is a weapon on each door to represent each Xehanort, essentially.
This one isn't responding yet.
There's Master in the middle, Master Xehanort. And over on the far side, we have another blanked out one, which is Xion, who Sora has never fought before or really talked to that much. So, yeah. Anyway, here's a little demonstration of how fucking hard this is if you just run in and try and beat it mashing the X button willy-nilly with a not maxed out Sora. So starting off, we have young Xehanort here. And he don't fuck around. He does a lot of warping. He fucks with time. He has his big laser whip. And a lot of his moves will juggle you, combo you. He will bully the shit out of you. Didn't take long for my HP bar to just deplete there. He has his homing blizzard, which can be a nightmare to deal with if you don't sit and block them all or get away from them. And if you're looking at the damage on the top right, I, have barely reduced a single bar yet, and he has a lot of pips. Many, many pips, so this fight would be a war of attrition at best if I continued down this path of playing, with my current level. But fuck, he literally just attacked me in the stop time. That's not fun. And, yeah, things are starting to look a little bleak now. Looking a little dire. I've already lost my Koopa coin, and I'm done. So yeah, off-screen, I went to the Frozen World in the main campaign, and I went to one of the battle gates after eating a bunch of Ratatouille's. I just called him Ratatouille. Eating a bunch of the, of Remy's food in order to boost my experience, and after only 20 minutes of grinding, I went from level 60 to level 100. It's really easy to grind in this game, which, thank fuck. So, now I am level 100, or level 99, which is the max level, and I have, quite a lot of food to burn through, so I can even eat a little extra dish to make myself even stronger throughout all these battles, which is highly recommended, because this is, normal difficulty, and it's still fucking super hard.
I guess I need to check these.
I should now be ready for these fights, so... First of all, we have young Xehanort once again. Now let's go into more detail. Young Xehanort, as a character, appeared as a super boss in Birth by Sleep. You know, what with this whole time-traveling bullshit. And on top of that, young Xehanort was the main antagonist of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the Kingdom Hearts game that took place chronologically directly before this one. He's quite a tricky bastard to fight, going so far as to rewind the clock and, you know, reset the whole battle if you let him do so, if you don't run and interrupt him when he starts using time magic. And yeah, even when you get him down to 1 HP, he'll even freeze time then, and give himself a little extra attacking phase before you finally finish him off. And no, you can't kill him in the stopped time, you have to just reduce his armor in order to get time to resume again. Just like that. Eat shit. So, that is young Xehanort dealt with. That gives us an absolutely piss item. And our next fight is against Dark Riku. Dark Riku was my... You know what, I'm going to say it. The fight against Dark Riku in Kingdom Hearts 1 is my favourite fight in this entire series. And this is like a souped up and more bombastic version of that fight. And this might be my favourite fight in Kingdom Hearts 3. What I like about him is there is a lot of exchanging blows and blocking and attacking. But Dark Riku's real, you know, difficulty comes in the fact that he likes to set traps all around the arena, many of them unblockable, and you have to worry about both, you know, dealing with him and his huge fuck-off invincibility attacks, which is, you know, what he's doing now, as well as all the traps he set up, which he can juggle you off of those. So, yeah, this guy, holy shit, he can be a right goddamn pain. But at the same time, he's so, like, you know, he's such a shithead that you kind of want to kill him, and you will just bash your head against this wall until he is done, which is what I did. And eventually I stabbed the bastard right in the chest, so... that was that. Another piss item. You get really shit items for doing this, until you, like, have defeated a few of them. So, here is Saïx. Saïx, I thought going in would be the easiest one, because in Kingdom Hearts 2, Saïx's whole deal is he has shit defense and will get combo to hell until he goes berserk, in which case you need to take to the skies and just fly away from him, because, you know, he pulls off some super devastating attacks, but they're all quite avoidable because they're all ground-based. This fight says fuck you for thinking that. When he rolls around on the ground in berserk mode, as he is now, he will start shooting projectiles, like, into the air, which, if they hit you in the air, will stun you, and then you'll hit the ground stunned, and then he will insta-kill you, because when he's berserked, he can kill you even if you have, like, the second chance ability to tank a hit. Saïx will just murder you for that, so... yeah, here he is on like a sliver of health, and even then, in berserk mode, it's really safe to attack him. You gotta find your little moments and get in there with Saïx. So next up is Larxene. Larxene is the character, of all the organization members, is the one I like most as a person, and I love the way she fights. It's a bit of a shame that she's so goddamn easy in this. Out of all the limit cut fights, this is the one I had the least trouble with, because, yeah, she does really massive damage if she catches you in her ridiculous combos, but she's a glass cannon, and you can't afford to be a glass cannon if you're a super boss. Because at the end of the day, once I've, like, blocked a few of your attacks, and, you know, overcome your Shadow no Jutsu attacks, yeah, I'll be left in a situation where I could just finish you off, so... yeah. She got close to killing me here. She got very close. Especially with that goddamn move, but, yeah, that's kind of it. She's all out now. She's leaving herself quite open for a finishing blow. By the way, I'm sure you don't mind... Oh, Magic Boost. That's actually a good item. I'm sure you don't mind me skipping these battles because, again, 8 hours I spent doing this. So, yeah. So, Xigbar's fight is cool as hell. Xigbar, off the bat, interesting. He messes with the arena. You cannot cross the black section in the middle. So now we're just playing on this big outward loop. So, you can play like an FPS of just sitting back, tanking his shots, and then shooting back. Or you can try and get up in his grill, which, eventually, after deflecting enough of those shots, I'll be able to do. Keep in mind that he likes to teleport as well and, you know, break distance from you, so... To an extent, you kind of have to play his game, but yeah. Anyway, Xigbar as a character has been there since Birth by Sleep. Well, no, in fact. Break, chronologically, was there in Birth by Sleep. Xigbar has been an organization member since Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't know how I feel about him being the big mastermind behind it all, but... You know what? If we get more moments like this... then I'm all fucking for it, because holy shit, that's cool. That was legit. That was fucking awesome. Very good. So, once all is said and done... Xigbar's not all too tricky. He does leave himself open when he, you know, walks around on the ceiling, just making gravity his bitch. But there is one attack that he can do that he never showed off in this particular run, which is where he shrinks the arena so it's tiny and then starts firing a barrage at you. I do not know how to survive it. It's brutal. So I just got lucky that he didn't do it here. And there he goes. And AP boost. It's a shame I have every ability I can have equipped already. Because now those are null and void. Here is Ansem, or Xehanort's Heartless, the final boss of Kingdom Hearts 1. And, you know what? This fight kind of justifies the fact that he is the final boss, because he's fucking hard, he's irritating, and this whole battle, as you're kind of seeing here, is a game of cat and mouse. Most of the battles in Limit Cut are, in fact, because you'll spend a lot of your time just dodging and blocking and trying to stay alive during onslaughts, and then finding those little opportunities where you can start attacking back and getting in your combos. Because, yeah, a lot of the times, these Xehanorts will just not flinch if you attack them when you're not supposed to, so to speak. But anyway, Xehanort's Heartless here does have a little desperation modes, which calls back to his boss fight in Dream Drop Distance, where he throws you into this dark void and starts flinging shadow orbs around. They really goddamn hurt. So, yeah, I'm going to counteract that with my own screen-filling insta-kill move. Fuck you. Oh, God. Oh, that's gross. I don't know what those are, but they're gross. I do not like that. I don't like that at all. Please stop with that malarkey. I preferred it when you became a giant hulking biomass with a gross red bleeding face on it. I liked that final form. Much more than your weird darkness zone. So, here is Xemnas, final boss of Kingdom Hearts 2. The original leader of the organization before Master Xehanort got involved. And, this is the most difficult fight. This is so fucking brutally hard because it is the ultimate war of attrition. Xemnas has ridiculous defense. And it's so hard to find those little opportunities to attack him and get your combos off. Granted, I just squandered one mare, but they are few and far between. And yeah, this guy does his big finisher from Kingdom Hearts 2. But this time, you don't have Riku behind you and, you know, a reaction command to save you. you actually have to try deflecting all of these shots when they fly towards you. So, yeah, I hope you have like once more or second chance equipped, because if not, don't know how you're supposed to survive this onslaught here. It's so fucking much, and that's not even the worst of it. He does a worse one in a moment where he gets rid of the whole bullet force field. And in case you hadn't noticed, fuck, there it is. In case you hadn't noticed, he spends most of this battle setting up force fields and air juggling you so you bounce off those force fields. He's basically spamming reflect magic, which is something Kingdom Hearts 3 is sorely lacking, because in Kingdom Hearts 2 it was the fucking best. So, yeah. The ability to just set up magic shields and reflect, you know, dumb anime bullshit attacks was a godsend. However, in this case, it was his undoing, because I can shotlock those, so hey. That is Xemnas. And another crappy item. So here, we have Luke Sword. This is the fight where at first I fucking hated it, and then as I slowly figured out what I was doing, I grew to love it. So, Luke Sword is a puzzle boss fight. You have to beat him at his game. He is straight up invincible until you've beaten him at one of his games, or until he does that move, which you can attack him after he's done it. And you'll notice there are no... Well, I have a health bar, but he does not. This is a time battle. You have to deplete his time meter to win, so... Yeah, you have to do minigames like this, where you... Fuck! Where you hit the right card, and you have to block his attacks so cards don't cover the ground, making this move more dangerous. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, this fucking thing, just turn the camera. The cards now turn with your camera, so you do have to go up to them in order to see what's on them. And, then reveal, shit, where the real Luke Sword is. And all the ones that, you know, aren't Luke Swords will damage you if you attack them, and deplete your time gauge as well. So, yeah. This move I like because, you know, for the first half of the fight, it's easy to deal with. But this is where things get a little tricky. I'd argue that this part of the fight is all about reflexes, because you need to be ready to dodge all the cards if they come for you. But you also need to be ready to go up to the pictures of Luke Sword and interact with them. I recommend using the triangle command and not attacking so you don't accidentally hit the wrong one. But then on top of all that, as this goes on, Luke Sword starts fucking cheating. He starts using sleight of hand to flip the cards, so they go from pictures of him to X's. So eventually you have to be super fucking fast and quick to the draw, pressing the triangle button before the card starts flipping itself around when you run up to it. And this can be very frustrating. Like, I did admittedly have to look up an FAQ to figure out how to do this part of the fight. But once I figured out what I was doing, because it's not very good at explaining itself, yeah, no, I grew to love this, because it's slow, it's methodical, you actually have to think, you have to be quick on your toes. Mashing X is a death sentence right now, so... Yeah, no, Luke Sword's fight went from my most hated to my most enjoyed, because it's the one I can revisit and go back to, and still find quite challenging. And if I lose it, at this point, I now kind of throw my arms up and say, that was my fault, I did something wrong, I did something stupid. Just, you know, a frustrating fight, but a fun one. And yeah, this is the part where he can even turn the cards into projectiles, so there's another volley of attacks for you to avoid. And see, nearly flipped that because he changed it on the fly. Bastard. Again, you just have to be really patient on this part. And just be ready to flip the camera and avoid his goddamn shots. And get him! There he is, got one. Getting the wrong ones too many times will end this whole phase of the fight, and you will take a massive chunk of time damage. So, yeah, you don't want that. You want to be able to beat this part. Because this is, you know, this is all well and good, but he has a third phase where he's, you know, even more potent than he was at the beginning of the fight. And you got to watch out for that as well, so... There he is. Got him. Gives me a good chance to beat him up. Get a good combo, wail on him. And, yeah, this is super frustrating now because he has, like, one little sliver of health left, but he's straight up invincible for most of this fight, so... It all comes down to this. Hit the red rings. Red ring. Red ring. Fuck. Timing is strict on this one. There we go. Got him. And that is Luxord. That fight on its own took me 2 hours to beat. And I went from hating every second of it to loving every second of it. Now, Marluxia here is very interesting. So, Marluxia as a fighter is kind of He telegraphs his attacks from a fucking mile away, and a lot of them are very blockable and, you know, not that hard to deal with. But it's his gimmick that really sets him apart from the other fights. Marluxia is the final boss of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And to represent the fact that he has a big, terrifying biomechanical form, they give him this move. They give him the move Doom. Which puts a timer over your head. If you don't reduce his armor within 15 seconds, you lose. There's no coming back from it, you're dead. So, you have to then get aggressive. The game forces you to get aggressive now. And keep in mind, I'm level 100. I have buffed myself. I am incredibly goddamn powerful. And yet, that armor damage, though, I wasn't doing that much. So, yeah, Marley here can be really tricky. I just kind of got lucky and managed to beat him on my first try. And much like young Xehanort, when he's down to 1 HP, he has a Desperation attack. Which is a more brutal version of Doom, where you have a higher timer, but it goes down super goddamn quick. And he gives you very little opportunity to actually hit him and break through his armor. So, yeah, this is a moment where I thought, this is done, I'm finished. But I managed to get enough glancing blows on him to finish it. So that's Marluxia. Woof. Next up we have Terranort. A lot of these fights boil down to mash X to attack, mash square to guard. This fight, do not try guarding. Don't guard, because most of his attacks are straight up unblockable. Anytime his Keyblade glows, and it's kind of impossible to react quickly enough to tell if it's glowing or not, will just break through your defenses and will eat up your health. So, this fight is about running away and hiding and being evasive more so than defensive. And I think that's quite a nice callback to Birth by Sleep, where the final boss fight, where you played as Terrazama fighting Terranort here, was a fight where if you did get aggressive, you would get your shit kicked in. And yeah, they're kind of recreating that here, albeit in a more frustrating fashion, because now he has lots of projectiles that are very fast moving, very hard to block. And yeah, he has this section of the fight where there are just lasers everywhere, and it's so easy to die here. Oh boy, Terranort. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm just running for my fucking life for most of this. Just hoping he doesn't end me. And eventually, I'm not going to say that I intended this, I just got very lucky. He let his defenses down, and I managed to just about get a kill on him before he creamed me, which is what he would have done if he landed one more attack on me. So here is Vanitas. Vanitas was one of the final bosses in Birth by Sleep as well. The evil version of Ventus, but, you know, we all know that from the LP. Vanitas being a creature of pure darkness, loves to flit in and out of the darkness, bamfing around, essentially. And he likes to spam powerful magical attacks. So, yeah, he's pretty goddamn tough. And he has some very interesting moves in his arsenal. One of them is to ride around on Keyblades and shoot lasers at you. But he also has this, where he ends up trapped within an orb of Keyblades, and the temptation to attack him at this point is so high. But don't, because if you end up in that orb, you'll be dead in like 2 fucking seconds, because you will be ripped to fuck by a bazillion Keyblades. So, yeah, when he does this, just avoid. Dodge, roll away, avoid the X button, because it will, you know, launch you into him. And, yeah, wait for that bullshit to pass so you can get your attacks on again. And, eventually, I managed to finish him off. Took me a couple attempts, that one, 3 or 4. This next fight, though, is legit as fuck. Xion. So Xion basically poses the question, how does Sora fare against a character who spams lights, kinda like he does? And the answer to that question is fucking terribly, because Xion is hard as shit. So, you know, at first, she's not too bad, and you have her theme playing, which is one of the few songs in this game that I really like, and, you know, has a nice distinct melody that I'm all about. But, where she starts to be a bit of a bother is in those blue lasers. Those blue, you know, streaks of light. Because look what they're doing to my health bar. Look at that fucking health bar! She permanently reduces your maximum health, and it can only be remedied by changing forms. So, the game puts you in a position where you have to start attacking back. You have to get aggressive, just so you can get your form change, just so you can get your health back. Because when your health is minimized like that, even cures won't help you. There's nothing to cure. Your maximum health is gone, so, yeah. And that's not the worst of it. Now she's in her light form, where she just becomes a whirling dervish of fucking attacks, and with more blue lasers. So, yeah, the key here is to try and get as many attacks off as you can when she goes into this form, and get your combo back, and get your health back. So yeah, Xion is really difficult, and you know what? The cutscene where she beat the shit out of Axel and Kairi, you know what? I'm more okay with that now, because if she was half as powerful in that scene as she is here, I get it. You know what? I get it. That's fine. And yeah, then you get this part of the fight where she just straight up enraptures the stage with light, and lasers are just everywhere. And you have to try and overpower her anime bullshit attacks with your own. Yeah, no, this is one of the best Limit Cut fights. I kind of love this one. I hate it and love it at the same time, which is kind of what I want from a super hard boss rush. I want to hate these fights. I want to get frustrated with them, because that just emboldens me to do it again, to beat them in the end. And Xion was a shining example of that for me. Anyway, she's now down to like hardly any health left, and she's still so goddamn dangerous to me. But thankfully, I managed to finish her off with that finisher. Oh boy, Xion. That's actually not half a bad item. So, nice. Finally, final Limit Cut battle is against Master Xehanort, who is so much more powerful here than he is in any of his other incarnations. And yet, managed to beat him on my second try. Don't know how that happens. Don't know if I'd even be able to do it again. I think it's because he spends so much of this battle floating around and looking menacing and yelling at you that he kind of leaves himself open more than he should. So, yeah. But this fight is, you know, much like Shion, kind of interesting. He uses lights, which, much like Shion, can reduce your maximum health. And I guess the reason for that is because of the, you know, revelation at the end of the main game, which was, you know, the reason he's become this darkness-obsessed mega jerk is because he wants to bring on a renaissance of light. So this is him using darkness and light in tandem. And, yeah, he's an annoying fucker for it. Who'd have guessed? I hate those big goddamn... I don't even know what the fuck they are. I don't know if they're like chakrams or clocks, spiked clocks, but he loves throwing those, and they are irritating. If they hit you, they can actually deliver quite a few horrible side effects. The worst being freezing. They can inexplicably freeze you, so yeah. Anyway, here's the third stage of the fight. Because Xehanort here just doesn't want to make up his mind on how he fights me, so yeah, another whole set of attacks for me to learn and try and overpower. Thankfully, this one's not too bad because, you know, all those shadow clones, like many of his other attacks, telegraph themselves kind of hard, so they're pretty blockable. Although, I can't imagine doing any of these limit cut fights without, you know, all my abilities on. Like, all my support abilities, because if healing didn't give me iframes, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I would be just fucking beside myself in fights like this, so yeah. Anyway, there goes the old man. That gives us the Master Belt and an achievement, giving me that sweet gamer score. And all of that was for nothing! It didn't even pertain to the plot! Fucking... Why did you include all of this then?
What a bummer. Ah!
Fairy Godmother! Oh, I hope I didn't startle you.
Not at all. What brings you here?
Ooh, I'm just here to make Kingdom Hearts 4 happen.
Master Yen Sid.
End of the Xehanort saga, my ass.
Riku. Yes, Riku is his name.
Here, I'm Riku.
Why, it's nice to meet you. Now, I'd like you to tell me about the dreams that you've been having, dear.
Huh? My dreams? There's one. It was dark, and I was surrounded by tall buildings. I was looking around for Sora.
So they're establishing that the Verum Rex post-credit sequence was just a dream that both Sora and Riku were sharing. So that's dumb. Also, Fairy Godmother, I think you're conflating sleepy sleep nighttime dreams with aspirational dreams. They are two very different things.
Why Riku?
In fact, Disney as a whole, as a company, I think you've always kind of struggled with that discrepancy.
You weren't having any luck finding Sora. And because Riku had been in Sora's dreams before, he thought perhaps Riku just may be the key. That's why he and Merlin asked me to come here and look into his dreams, since of course, dreams are my specialty.
So, Riku's dreams might hold the key?
Yes, dear. I'm sure there's something there that leads to Sora.
In my dreams?
And the other two.
Okay, so... Sora at the moment is just plodding around in people's heads, in people's memories. I guess that's what you do when you're trapped in limbo. So that was Kingdom Hearts Limit Cut, and that's the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Ended on a bit of a fart, but what the fuck ever, at least I got some boss fights. I'm obviously fucking joking, look at the time code. There's more to this. there's one more fight to be had. So, let's do one more fight. So, this, whole chunk of the game, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, there's more. Maybe there's a secret fight. This is rad as fuck. I wonder what this could be. I doubt it's Sephiroth, but they might come up with something fucking cool. Someone for me to fight. And then it all plays out, so yeah. So here we are with Sora again. I'm still maxed out. Level 99, as I fucking need to be for this.
This place. At least, I'm all here.
Don't have to collect 99 of myself again.
Hey! Is anyone out there? Hello?
Hey.
Huh?
Hey.
Who's that?
Oh, who could this be?
Where are you?
Over here!
I see you.
Why, it's none other than everybody's favorite character, Yozora. Hello, Yozora.
Aren't you?
You know me?
Yeah. You're Yozora, right?
How do you know that? Who are you?
I'm Sora. And actually, there's something I have to ask you.
Sora? You're Sora?
Huh? You know who I am?
Who the fuck hasn't heard of you? You're like 20 people, my dude.
If you're here, then this can't be the real world, can it? But wait, that girl, she told me about you.
Wait, what the fuck? What girl told you anything about... Oh, go fuck yourself. Alright, I'm sorry. Let me just, okay, back to the Kingdom Hearts thread and scroll up. I'm pretty sure what Sora is referring to right there is to a literally missable scene. A scene that Tim and I missed because we considered it to be fucking unimportant. Is it tying into this now? Because if it ties into this and it was important, why was it fucking missable? Fucking... Thank you, your pal Hal, for linking this. Let me just... fucking... Oh, that's aggravating. Oh, that's so annoying. Why would you tell a story like that? Why would you have something vital be missable?
Hello?
Good day.
Oh, cool! You can talk!
So this was back, in the main playthrough, the main game, after we, got murked for the first time and ended up in the final world. So if you talked to every single star, you got extra cutscenes. One of them was talking with a star that was clearly Namine,
What are you?
and the other one was talking with this star right here,
They took away my name.
who
Everything about me.
is
No way.
clearly a Viram Rex
They couldn't
character.
have taken away your heart.
Only because it pines for another.
Yeah? Someone's coming for you?
I cannot be certain. He's been changed beyond recognition. His heart replaced with another's. But were he to regain his old self again, he would be distressed by my absence. So I choose to wait here, where he can find me.
Good. You have to believe.
Believe? Oh, you mean know in my heart he will return? Without any proof?
Exactly. Believe. I thought it was all over for me, but a friend of mine looked me in the eye and said, "You don't believe that." So, who did this to you? Heartless steal hearts, so... a nobody?
Somebody.
Really? Well, I wish I could help, but my situation's no better.
You must see to the tasks before you first.
The tasks before me? There's so many.
All the more reason for you to make an effort.
Yeah, you're right. I just wish I knew what to do.
Here you are on the brink, and yet you hold on to who you are. You possess a strong sense of purpose, and in that purpose you will find direction.
Thank you. I'm really glad we met. You cheer me up.
I'm really glad we met. It would be annoying if our meeting was fucking optional, even though it's referred back to later.
Oh, hey. If I see him, I'll tell him that you're here. What's his name?
And then it does the thing that I fucking hate. It does the thing. Yozora.
Huh?
So we had to find out from this scene that she whispered the name Yozora into his ear. Fucking wank. Just a load of fucking wank. Like, learn to tell a fucking story. I think I've excelled past Tim's level of irritation at this series at this point. Because at least I was invested in the first place, at least.
Maybe...
So I had somewhere to fall from. Fucking,
Are you done? No, this isn't the real world, and I am here. But this isn't what I really look like. How'd you recognize me as Yozora?
Huh?
Why are you using Sora's name?
Because...
So Virum Rex has a character in it named Sora as well.
If you
And he's confusing Sora with this Sora.
That brought us
In fact, the girl on the star was probably Sora.
my path is clear.
Not like two people can have the same name, even though Kingdom Hearts has two characters named Riku in it. So, you know what? I am miffed by this point. I'm actively miffed, but... then it's fucking Limit Cut, man. It gives me one more fucking fight to do. And once again, it's a fight that I hate, and that I fucking love how much I hate it. Because it's so fucking brutal, it's so fucking mean,
I accidentally
and this fight is significantly harder than any of the Xehanauts. As you will see momentarily.
Time to end this.
Alright, so Sora versus Yozora. Yozora is like a fucking futuristic bounty hunter with lasers. Very out of place for Kingdom Hearts, but I mean, fucking who cares? This is dope. In fact, you know what? The way his weapon works, it harkens a little bit to the way Zigbar's weapon works, which, you know, there's probably a link there, what with Zigbar being some kind of multi-dimensional mastermind, but... Anyway, this particular fight, Yozora has a lot of really fucking nasty tricks, and he leaves himself open very rarely. Usually, in order to, you know, leave him open, you have to try and engage him in the air, because, fuck. Yeah, there's a move he does where he gets his sword to start fighting for him and leaves himself open. He can also do this, and this is the fucking worst. He can steal your weapon. You can't heal anymore. Or you can't use magic anymore, or attack anymore. All you can do is run and dodge and evade and use items. And, speaking of items, Yozora can also steal your items. And one of the items he can steal from you is your Kupo coin. And if he steals your Kupo coin, he can use it. After you've beaten him, he will restore half of his health back. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 pips of health he will get back. And in response to that, you probably think to yourself, oh, I'll just go into this battle without a Kupo coin. I'll unequip it before this fight starts. You can't. You can't get rid of a Kupo coin. So don't let him fucking steal it from you in the first place. And that's not even getting into his, like, you know, desperation attack, which is a whole other kettle of fucking fish. Yeah, Yozora is an utter monster. And this is my first time fighting him, and you know what? As, you know, I did spend 5 hours fighting him after this. I can gladly say that I was being incredibly lucky here. The fact that he didn't cream me in 2 fucking seconds, you know, that was entirely a product of luck, because he could have done. At any point, he could have finished me off here. Or, you know, I could have just mistimed a block or two and then gotten my face destroyed. Yeah, this fucking guy, though. It is so hard to beat him. And, yeah, he gives very, very few tells as well for when he's about to do one of his, you know, more devastating attacks. So it got to a point where I was actually learning his attack patterns. Like, what's he going to do next, and how do I deflect it, or block it, or dodge it, or get away from it? And, you know, when does he leave himself open? When do I want to transform into my forms? When do I need the few seconds of invincibility those forms are going to provide? When do I heal, and when do I, you know, just attack him more in order to maximize my damage output? All these questions were running through my head quickly. And you know what? Fucking, I was never having more fun. I was so mad, I was so fucking angry, and I was having so much fucking fun with this. So, yeah. Kingdom Hearts as a series is always at its best when it's throwing bullshit super bosses at you, and 3, I have to say, kind of excels in that. It's the one place where 3 excels over all other Kingdom Hearts games is in its super bosses. Because they're fucking mean, as they should be. As a good super boss should be. Anyway, we haven't even taken off half of his health yet. Guy is a damage sponge on top of everything I've discussed thus far. There are many videos on YouTube of people, you know, beating this fight without taking any damage. They're fucking crazy, those people. But those videos usually clock in at about 30 to 40 fucking minutes, though. So yeah, this guy, he is a damage sponge and a time sponge, and yeah, I am not winning this one. No fucking way. The real clincher to this fight, as you will be finding out shortly, is the fact that you don't even have to win it. Winning this fight is optional. Because after it's all said and done, the end result pretty much ends up the same anyway. So, yeah, winning this is purely for bragging rights. And that is my shit. Like, I am that kind of gamer who will 100% a game to spite it. And so here's the cutscene if you lose.
How could...
Sorry, but I don't lose.
This fucking edgelord. This fucking Noctis recolor. Because that is what he is. He's just a recolor of Noctis.
I will save you.
The only investment I have in Yozora is the fact that I think he looks kind of cool with his gun. Like, he's got a cool weapon. And, look at this motherfucker, he's just Noctis! He's just Noctis, though! And the other thing I think is good about him is his fight. You know, the fight with him. He's in the backseat of a car! He's Noctis! He's...
I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
Oh, do you get it? The Kingdom Hearts trilogy starts the same way it ends.
None of this makes sense to me.
Perfect summary of the series for the average person. Just fucking well done. Let's fight him for real. Let's win against this piece of shit. This is going to be me taking my anger out on Verum Rex as a concept. That's how I read this situation. Alright, so, getting into this fight
Let's do this.
proper now. When the fight starts, he will either do a laser barrage, which can be countered after the fact by, you know, getting in his grill. Alternatively, he'll start with the bullshit move where he steals your Keyblade. An important thing to note is if Yozora is ever running towards you, he's going to try and steal the Keyblade, so play evasively to get away from those orbs. He'll only ever bring out 3 of them. But yeah, you want him to be focusing more on lasers, because when the sword starts attacking you on its own volition, that's when you're free to start hitting Yozora himself. I hear that if you upgrade the Oathkeeper and manage to get to double form and use your finisher with it, it will actually stun Yozora. I annoyingly didn't do that. I went at him with the Ultima Weapon, which, you know what, does higher base damage anyway, so I kind of prefer it. But, yeah, at the moment, you know what, his attacks are brutal, they're fast, they're annoying to deal with. But, you know what? You ain't seen nothing yet. Because when you get him down to low health, he does this. He does a move that I've affectionately referred to as the Pain Orb. The Pain Orb lasts about 3 minutes. It's one attack that lasts 3 minutes, and Yozora is nigh on invincible during this whole attack. This is an onslaught you just have to survive. And weirdly, in the 5 hours that I fought him, in 2 fights with him, he started with this for some reason. I don't know if that was a glitch, but he started with the Pain Orb, and naturally, those fights were just fucking washes, because it's kind of hard to come back from this. So yeah, just lots of lasers. And once he's done firing a shitload of lasers at you, he'll then move on to the next stage, which is throwing robots at you. He then starts throwing all of the robots from Verum Rex at you. And you have to try and use your Super Glide with the right kind of angle in order to dodge them all. It's very easy for them to bump into you though, and if they do, you start bouncing off all of them and they rack up the damage quickly. Then he starts attacking with many of himself, whilst lasers are happening. And, in case you hadn't noticed by now, blue lasers can't even be fucking blocked. So, enjoy your hell, asshole. Enjoy your suffering. This is what you get for wanting to beat the optional super boss that you don't even have to be. You get this horrific fucking violence. And he's not even done yet. So, at this point, I'm using my Rage form to heal myself. I'm using Elixirs to heal myself. I'm using Curigas to heal myself. Thankfully, he hasn't taken my Kupo coin in this run. So there is at least that solace. But after that, and that's the end of the pain orb, he now has armor and will continue to attack you ruthlessly, and you have to try and break through the armor. This is residual pain orb. So yeah, this fucking fight is mean as hell. But even when you get down to the last stretch, Yozora isn't a fucking cakewalk, because now he leaves you far less opportunities to get combos on him. So yeah, you just have to stay hyper vigilant in this fight. When you lose it, the hint screen even says the words, "Try not to lose your cool, pay close attention to Yozora's movements." Like, even the game is saying, you just gotta play defensively. You gotta play carefully, and there he goes.
I guess that my powers aren't needed yet.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
And that is that. Sora, assumingly, gets to return back to Kingdom Hearts. Finally giving Hearts a happy ending where Sora returns to everybody, I think. I don't know. And, Noctis here, or Noctis, as I'm now going to start calling him, wakes up in the back of the car, and this time we get to see his driver, who is definitely not Ignatz. Definitely not Ignatz and Noctis. He's a commander, not a prince. That makes him a different person. Whatever. Anyway, that was Limit Cut. And you know what? It's a perfect microcosm of Kingdom Hearts. Fighting was fun as hell. Cutscenes were aggravating, bordering on insulting. Take easy, everyone.
Is any of this for real? Or not? None of this makes sense to me.